So if you've seen some Cosmic Ghost Rider solos on YouTube, you might be wondering, how does CGR stack his buffs in a single cycle? The most popular example of this is when you see someone executing the 6 aptitude rotation. Well, you have come to the right video. Allow me to explain. When Cosmic Ghost Rider commits an action, he gains a buff. Gaining that buff inflicts the corresponding judgment onto the opponent, and when that corresponding judgment is active, CGR cannot gain the buff again. For example, when ending a 5-hit combo with the light attack, CGR is granted a power gain buff. When CGR gets the power gain, it inflicts the judgment of power gain onto the opponent. When the judgment of power gain is active, CGR cannot activate power gain again. And the whole idea of CGR's kit is that eventually he removes these judgments and he's able to inflict them again and gain the buffs again. If you don't understand this and you'd like a further explanation of how Cosmic Ghost Rider's kit and judgments function, I'll leave a guide in the description and the pinned comment. So you may have noticed that there's a bit of a loophole here. CGR cannot inflict more than 5 judgments. And this question was answered pretty early on after he was released. What happens if he tries to inflict 6 judgments? What happens if he activates a buff while the opponent is at 5 judgments? Well, if that buff wasn't one of the 5 that he triggered, then CGR will gain that buff and it will have triple of its base duration, so it'll last 3 times longer, and he will not inflict judgment. When CGR is at 5 judgments, they reset once his 6-second power lock, or damnation if he's awakened, expires. So you can manipulate this in a way where you can activate 5 buffs to inflict the 5 judgments, and then spam a buff to gain it multiple times for 6 seconds. With the 6 aptitude rotation, you are activating 5 buffs, those being Vigilance, Precision, Cruelty, Unblockable, and Power Gain. And then since you're at 5 judgments at that point, you just spam Heavy Attack to gain aptitude for 6 seconds. Then at that point you'd have 5 triple duration aptitudes, and if you launched your special 3, you would also have a triple duration 45-second Fury buff that is enhanced by those aptitudes, and yeah, it's just a lot of damage. I have a guide for that rotation linked as well if you'd like to learn how to do it, but this video is just covering how he's able to actually spam those buffs in a single cycle. You may have also noticed this type of effect if you've gotten comboed while at 5 judgments, because you'd gain an armor up every hit that you take. This is the same effect as spamming aptitude, or spamming vigilance, or spamming power gain. You can stack any of CGR's buffs in a single cycle in this way. However, the most practical and effective application of this is with the aptitude rotation. Because you only have a 6-second window to activate your buffs multiple times in a single cycle, because your judgments will reset when your power lock expires. So going over the other buffs real quick and the benefits or the downsides of stacking them, I don't see why you'd need to stack Vigilance in most scenarios, and activating Power Gain multiple times will give you too much power to actually be useful. Stacking Armor Up is cool, I've had 15 myself, but the damage reduction is barely noticeable at all. And spamming special attacks multiple times in a single cycle isn't really possible, they just last too long. So that rules out stacking Cruelty, Unblockable, Precision, and Fury in one cycle. However, there is a rotation that allows you to spam Special 3 forever. I'll have a guide link to that as well if you want to check it out. It's not really in one cycle, but it's multiple rotations that you can keep repeating to just constantly launch your Special 3 every 5 hits. It's actually pretty cool, but it's not really the same effect as spamming it in the same cycle, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's pretty much a quick explanation of how Cosmic Ghost Rider can stack his buffs in one cycle. Hope that it was helpful and easy to understand. If it was, do me a favor by gently pressing those like and subscribe buttons. They didn't do anything to you. Check out the rest of the channel for more CGR content. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely outstanding day. Take care, Summoner, and farewell.